How you doing, bro?
What up? What's good, Ashley?
How's your day?
Hey, Trey.
I'm good, man. I'm chilling.
You feeling better?
I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling fucked up right now. I'm feeling all type of fucked up right now. I feel like I got hit by a truck.
That's the worst kind of feeling. Shit.
Is it allergies or what?
I don't know. It's not. It's nothing because it's not. It's not COVID. I got tested, so it's not that. I don't know what it is. Just I got a new bed. It might be the
So
new
what?
bed.
So yeah,
Like,
since you, yeah, I was about to say
yeah.
if it's allergies or is it something else,
Nah. I think it's the new bed
or
because like
did you get it from someone while you were out?
I gotta get adjusted to the bed. That's what it is. Thing is that my allergies don't even bother me no more like it used to. Like it used to bother me when I was younger, but they don't bother me no more like that.
Mm.
You know, I don't know. Maybe I gotta drink some ginseng tea or some shit. Where's BJ at? Because he kept saying he's coming on here and he wants to defend the crook. Where he at? BJ, where you at? Stop hiding.
Mm.
Defend your boy Puffy. I want to hear this. You know?
Y'all watch the BET Awards?
Yeah, I saw it.
You know I did.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Too
I
many
just know
technical
I've been hearing
difficulties.
about. I just know I've been hearing a whole lot of highlights and stuff, and I know Diddy got the Lifetime Achievement
Oh
Award.
Lord, that he didn't deserve.
You 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 don't think he deserved it?
No, hell no, hell no, he don't deserve that. But what has he done to deserve that? That's why I wanted BJ to come on here and defend his boy because he keeps saying he's a legend. I'm like, for what? What did he do? Okay, you
For
discovered Big.
creating
That's like
Bad
the
Boy
greatest thing ever.
Records, for putting Biggie on,
But
Craig
that's like
Mack.
that's the greatest thing he's ever done was discover Biggie. That because after that, it's like after Big died, that's when everything went downhill. Every artist he had, he deliberately got rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Like for whatever reason, there was always some issue with an artist. What happened? What happened with Sean? He went to jail for 10 years doing the bit that he shouldn't have did in the first place for Puffy. When 112, he took 112 to court just so they could get off of Bad Boy and go to Def Jam. What
What
happened
about
with him
Faith
and Mink?
Evans?
Faith Evans, same thing. Well, Faith Evans supposedly was she saying that she asked for her release
Asked to
from
be
Bad Boy.
released.
Yes, and he gave it to her.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm like every artist he had, there was an issue with the artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this dude is not executive of the year ever. He's not good. He robbed all of his artists. He's done underhanded shit to everybody.
Mm.
I still believe he's involved with that in Tupac's murder anyway.
I don't think he would
Yes,
do
he's
anything like
involved
that.
in that. He's involved. Me and Red reviewed a movie. The movie is called City of Lies. It's starring
Hmm.
Johnny Depp and starring Forrest Whitaker. This is a true story now. Forrest Whitaker he played the writer for the LA Times, and Johnny Depp was the cop on that case. And when they talked about the Tupac and Biggie murder, whose name came up in that? Puffy.
And there was
He's
reports that
the
he paid off some Crips too, if I'm not
right.
mistaken.
That his name came up when they traced it back to the crooked LAPD cops that they were being paid by Puffy.
Well, I know
We
a
know
long
we
time
know he
people
did
people
that.
assume Suge Knight had something to do with it too.
Well, I think Suge ain't no Angel Allah. Suge did his dirt also. Suge did his
I
dirt.
don't believe
And
he had. I don't believe he had anything to do with Pac or Big's death, in my opinion. I'm just gonna be 100%
Suge,
honest.
you don't believe Suge had anything to do with Biggie's death? I definitely believe he had something to do with
Hell,
that.
hell, hell, the fuck no.
No, so who
Hell,
was responsible for Biggie's death? Who
you
was
said what?
responsible for Biggie? Who was responsible for Biggie's death if it wasn't Suge?
I mean, I have a lot of theories, but it's just like theories and shit like that. Cause
Yeah, because you just
there's
don't
one
know for
theory.
sure.
Cause the thing is with Suge and shit like that. By that time, he was already in fucking prison and shit like that too. By that time,
Yeah.
Red,
and
Red,
shit like that.
Red, you,
So
you you remember that part in the movie where they were like, yo, when the bodyguards that were for Shug, and they were being paid. And remember, like when they traced it back, and it was like a trickle down effect, and they were like, yo, like all of them were being paid by Suge Knight. Suge Knight put out the hit on Biggie also. Like both of them are connected. And what's so crazy is both labels had a run at the same time. And as soon as Biggie died, Bad Boy fell off. As soon as Pac died, that's when Death Row
Death
fell
Row.
off. Yeah, they both connected.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? The one thing I will say about Suge, he was right when he said what he said at the 95 Source Awards about niggas being all in the videos, dancing. He was definitely right on the money
come to
with that.
death,
I
bro.
definitely agree with him on that. Huh?
Come to death, bro.
Yeah, I definitely agree with him on that. Cause he saw shit back then and people thought, oh, he hating. Nah, Suge saw the bullshit already. You know, so I want BJ wants to defend this dude like he's some martyr for hip hop, like he's the king of hip hop. I'm like, what did he do for hip hop? Yes, you discovered Big, and then what? You had everybody else flee your label to go elsewhere.
Not only that, I mean, he also made a mark on television too by executive producing, creating, making the band,
Oh God,
executive producing Brun's House.
start over, start over.
Start over. Ashley, did you see that one part when
Oh my God,
they
yo,
he
you
had
gotta
him
show her
trying to
that.
memorize
You gotta
like
show it.
Juicy?
Show the clip, Reg. You gotta show her that.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh
I'll
my
show it
God,
to her
yo.
right quick.
That shit pisses me
Start
off all the time
over.
I see it, yo.
He's like,
And,
they don't
and I
know the
know I know I
word.
know he did a little acting here and there. I mean, he was in Monsters Ball,
I,
but not for that long.
they killed him off. That was good.
They
I,
electrocuted his
yes.
character in an electric chair.
I
And
I did not like him in what was it? The prequel for Carlito's Way? I didn't like him in that.
I never saw that.
Yeah. They picked him up out of
You,
everybody. Who else was in the running for that cast for that casting job besides him? It had to be somebody
if you want to
else.
see some, if you
Oh,
want to
I
see
almost
some
forgot.
funny
He was
acting,
also in that remake of A Raisin in the Sun with Sanaa Lathan and
I never saw it.
Felicia Rashad.
yo,
I never saw it.
that
I
movie
never
was
saw it either.
so bad it's good.
No, every time I see this clip, I get pissed off, yo. I'm like, I can't believe the band was so stupid that they would allow him to do that.
Yo,
This
Ashley,
shit is
watch how
funny.
this nigga goes charging down and shit.
They don't understand what those words really mean. Also, Biggie Juicy, Biggie's first single. Oh, I know that. Okay. I mean,
It was a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
they don't even understand what those words really mean.
Well, that's the problem. You don't know the history of hip hop, so you do not appreciate it.
Oh,
I need to
because he knows it.
this ain't just a way to get on, make some money, and just use this thing of ours here called hip hop.
Start over.
My man's words. This is poetry. You don't want to like chop it up your shit, right?
Let's start teaching her the won't have y'all saying it forever.
I felt like you about to send me home, man, because there ain't hip hop. I'm like,
This
how
nigga
the
would piss
hell
me off and
you
shit.
don't know Juicy and you want to be a bad boy artist?
Start over. Start over. Start over.
Take this downstairs, say it outside. So lack of a
Oh my God.
Dang.
Oh my God. God. Man, I'm glad I'm not an artist. I would have told him kiss my ass. There's no way in hell you're gonna get me to do shit like that and embarrass themselves on national TV.
They brought that on themselves. So
Crazy, man. I hope BJ's watching this shit.
I
I
hope it
hope
happens.
you see that all the embarrassment that he put people through, and you want to celebrate this dude.
I'm gonna use the bathroom and after I'm gonna start the shit.
Good
Alright.
thing, man.
By the way, does anybody have the CD right?
Not yet, man.
Yep.
How you ain't got this, Reg?
Wait, you don't got it?
I do
You
got it. I
ain't
do
got
got
this.
the case.
Don't tell me
I
you
don't
got
got the
some
case.
Puffy album over this.
Oh,
Don't tell me you got some
oh,
Puffy album over this.
No, I don't got the case to it.
Oh, you don't got the case? Okay.
Oh.
Nah, I
I'm
got
about
it
to
a
say,
CD
don't-
lock and shit.
Did you get a Diddy album over this?
Hell no.
Oh my god. Making people get cheesecake. They gotta walk over the bridge in the wintertime to get cheesecake for him.
Wait, were they trying to be a band, or were they his
No,
flunkies?
they actually came out with an album. They came out with one album.
Okay.
And what happened was like he had signed like a couple of them to like solo deals. Like he signed Chopper, he signed Babs, but none of them came out with solo shit. They came out with the one album. I remember them on TRL, they were promoting it. Nobody bought that joint. You know what I'm saying? And then they end up letting them go, which was gonna happen anyway. Then he comes with Day 26. They came out with a couple albums. I think people actually liked them because they can sing.
Yeah.
But they didn't really go nowhere after that. You know what I'm saying? Like he let them go. He comes out with Danny Kane. You know, they come out with a couple stuff, then he lets them go. That's what he's been doing. He's been like signing people and then letting them go. Same thing with Dirty Money. He came out with like 1 or 2 albums with them, let them go after that.
With them too. I mean, maybe it was just the number of albums that they were
But
dropping didn't make record breaking.
nobody was bumping him in the 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. That was an issue. No one was bumping their
You know
stuff
what I'm
like
saying? It was like in the 2000s, as far as R&B, I was bumping Music Soul Child, Jill Scott. Who else? Who else was Alicia Keys? That's who I was listening to. You know what I'm saying? As far as rap, it was
that. What about
Ghostface.
Jagged Edge?
Oh yeah, Jagged Edge, of course, definitely. You know, and even the 112 albums on Def Jam were good. Like they were still making good music at that time. You know what I'm saying? As far as rap, it was Ghostface, it was Dilla, MF Doom, Sean Price. That's who I was bumping in the 2000s. I wasn't bumping nothing from Bad Boy because it was already over for that label.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why he kept coming out with all these albums, Press Play, that garbage, and Saga Continues, and because it was like he had to keep up that label on his own because all those other artists were gone. Cole Thomas was gone. Faith Evans wanted out. 112 went to Def Jam.
Yeah.
You know, Black Rob, I think he was on Duck Down at that point because he had left. Everybody was gone. Loon was gone. G Dup, he forgot about G Dup. He was gone. Like he abandoned all of his artists, or they were either dead.
Either they
But for
abandoned them or they just wanted out.
But for some reason, people got amnesia now, 20 years later, and they forgot all the janky shit that he did. So now they want to celebrate. I'm not celebrating them because BET did.
What about the work he did with Mary back in the day from Uptown?
That is his only shining moment outside of Bad Boy, because
was working for
with
Uptown
Mary.
before.
Right. Yeah, but he was an intern though. He was an intern, and you was a stylist. You was styling Jodeci. Remember, Jodeci came from North Carolina. They came up here and they needed a place to stay.
Yeah, they from my city. Yeah.
Right. And they came up here and they needed a place to stay. And he hooked them up, and then he styled them like with the baseball hats and the Timbs and all that, the leather outfits. That was his styling. Father MC, same thing with him. Same thing with Mary. He was styling them. There's no way in hell you look on any Jodeci album and you see produced by Puff Daddy. He wasn't producing Jodeci. That's not your group. Your group is 112. Your group is Danny D. Kane. Not Jodeci. Exactly, not Jodeci. He wasn't producing Jodeci. So you can never do a verses and be like, oh, well, let me get my group Jodeci out. Jodeci is not your group. That's Andre Harrell's group. Heavy D and the Boys is not your group. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's taking credit for shit that he's never done. This is what he's done. Like you taking production credit for beats that you never made. The Hitman all 13 of those producers made those beats on Life After Death and the first Faith album and all the 112 albums, the Mace album. That was them. Stevie J, D Dot, Ron Amen Lawrence and Carlos 6 July Brody. All of those cats doing those beats. Puffy just took the credit. He wasn't actually making beats. You know what I'm saying? Like Pete Rock did the beat for Juicy and he took the credit for that. You know what I'm saying? When Biggie invited Pete Rock to the One More Chance video and he didn't want Pete Rock there. So all of this is the shit that Puffy been doing for all these years, and people want to celebrate him like he's some great person. I'm like, I ain't celebrating dude. I'm sorry, man. R. Kelly did more for music than Puff Daddy ever did.
Yeah, but too bad R.
You know what I'm
Kelly's
saying?
doing 30 years.
And he got to live with that. But as far as music, R. Kelly is the GOAT. There's nobody right now in R&B that's on his level. Not Chris Brown, not Bruno Mars, not
Usher.
The Weeknd. Usher good. I still think R. Kelly will beat him in the verses though. This man got too much heat, and he did heat for a lot of other people.
Changing faces.
Changing faces. Who are Tony Braxton, Sparkle.
High
Like
five.
this high five. And we could shit. He could do a whole verses of all the hits he did for other artists.
Yeah. I was telling Reg about the fact that he's in there now for 30
DJ,
years, but
DJ
Reg
Tim, shut
don't
up,
think.
yo.
But
You
but
sound like an
Reg don't
idiot, bro.
think that he'll be serving time.
If you don't like what I gotta
That
say, then why you on here, bro? Ain't nobody
who is
riding Puffy but you. You worry about what we talking about Puffy. I can say what the fuck I want. You don't like it? Then get out.
who's
You
saying
know?
something?
This dude is like, oh wow, why people are talking about Puffy? Because we talking about Puffy. That's why.
I'm gonna just start whenever y'all.
You got something to say, but you ain't on it. I don't see you up on here talking your shit. Come up on here and talk your shit.
Shit. I'm gonna just
You
start whenever
know,
y'all are. Y'all ready?
I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, you two? How's everyone doing this lovely Wednesday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my
Shut up, man.
homeboy
You
Try
sound
with
stupid,
me.
bro. You sound stupid.
My homegirl Try. I mean, got my homegirl Ash with me. And
Well,
today we're gonna talk about. Today we're gonna talk about Brian McKnight's third album, Anytime. This album came out in 1997, September 23rd to be exact. This was his last album on Mercury Records. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, in my personal opinion, his breakthrough album. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Just gonna be real with y'all right now and shit like that. This was the album that really set it off for him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, 4 singles dropped from this album. You Should Be Mine, Anytime, The Only One for Me, and the Hold Me remix, produced by, and I'm gonna hate saying the producers' names and shit, and I guess I know why. Bruce Carbone, Herb Tarwick, Brian McKnight, Peter Black, Puffy, Charles Farrar, The Hitman, Von Lawrence, Stevie J, Anthony Nance, Troy Taylor, Trackmasters, and Keith Thomas. Only has two guest appearances, Mace and Willie Max. Willie Max is pretty much an R&B trio and stuff like that from Detroit. I never actually heard of them and stuff. You know what I'm
me
saying?
neither.
So yeah. All right. So this is actually the first review we did of Brian McKnight. You know what I'm saying? So you know how we always do. You know, gonna get how we started listening to Brian McKnight. I want to start with Try this time.
Shit, I don't even remember the song it was. I think it was Take Six actually, because he was a part of that group. And I had a family friend that was like into jazz, and he was playing like a lot of Take Six back then when he came out with that was it the Happy? It was the Happy joint, but they had like a joint called Spring Love or something like that, and um that's where I
Yeah.
remember him from. And then like when he went solo, I forgot like what actual like album I heard from him like first, but um when he did the Illinois scratch joint, the I'll take a joint. That shit was like huge over here. And then like yeah, like he just like I think that song was like really the song that like people got familiar with them if they wasn't before, and then like he just started coming out with like a lot of dope shit, and this album especially, and he was a great songwriter and producer. You know, people that actually produce and songwrite, not like Puffy. And you know, over the years, he's been great. You know, like one of my favorite songs was the Boyz II Men joint, "Let It Snow," and that's not even his song. That's for Boyz II Men that he wrote and he produced, and I thought he
Mm.
killed it on them with on that joint with them. And you know, he's been a real talented artist, a real musician, and he did a lot of great music for R&B. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that we can actually talk about a real artist with talent. You know.
Okay. My introduction to Brian McKnight was back when I was a kid. My mom, she had a mixtape with a whole lot of artists in the '90s, mainly R&B artists at the time. And Brian McKnight, some of his songs were on that mixtape. A couple of songs from his "I Remember You" album were on that mixtape, along with a few off this album here. And the biggest song in his career that I heard consistently on the radio as a child was "Back at One," because they played it on the radio, and then me and some other kids I went to daycare with would hear that song before we got to school or after we got out of school
Yep.
or whenever, and we would just listen to that song, and some of us be singing along with the lyrics to it. Yeah, but
That's that's exactly how I got into it.
yeah, that's
That's
how I first.
exactly. Yeah, my mom let you finish.
Yeah, that's exactly how I first got into Brian McKnight. But so far with his discography, I got his self-titled album, the "I Remember You" album, this one, "Back at One," and "Exodus."
Mm, that's dope. And yeah, my story is very similar to Ashley and shit like that. It was daycare. I used to go to this daycare called Kangaroo and
I
stuff
went to
like
La
that.
Petite.
Yeah, it was legitimately called. Oh, you went to La Petite? Oh
Hmm.
wow. Okay. Yeah, and so I always used to hear the song on the radio, like leaving back at one. And as a kid, I just thought it was kind of silly. I was like, why is this motherfucker counting and shit like And mind you, that song carried him in the radio for like 2 years,
Oh my
literally.
God, was it that long?
I think that came out in '99. You said what?
I didn't realize it was that long. That song was that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I
because
didn't know that
he
song
released.
was as big as it was until years later. Because
Oh
when you're a
yeah,
kid, you don't think about that.
nah, because I know with that album, that was the first album he did on Motown and stuff like that.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know why
yeah,
I first. Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because I don't know why I thought he was at Motown earlier in his career because he
I
worked so
thought the same
closely with
thing.
Boys to Yeah, and so that album got him. I think that either the album or the song got him a Grammy nom for 2001 Grammy Awards
Hmm.
and shit like that too. Because that album carried him all up to '01 and stuff until he dropped the superhero album and shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Which that album I definitely need to check that album out because that was like his experimental album and shit. And you know how I do with experimental kind of shit. But yeah, Brian McKnight to me, he definitely came out at a period when R&B male groups was like dominating and stuff like that, and he was definitely on that kind of crooner kind of shit, like the same vein as like Smokey, but like a more contemporary and stuff like that too, if that makes sense. Um, I haven't heard everything he put out, honestly, but at the same time, the period at any time, the Back at One album, those are my top two favorites and shit like that too. I need to get my hands on back at one too. But yeah, Brian McKnight, for those who don't know, he's an R&B singer, born in Buffalo, New York, and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? He definitely was like a musical prodigy and stuff like that. You know, he definitely played several instruments. He loved different types of music like R&B, rock, jazz, and whatnot. And so when he was 18, he had basically had formed a band, and he also had owned a publishing deal. He was actually offered a publishing deal as well too. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward to 1990, he pretty much had formed. Um, he actually signed to a record deal with his brother Claude, and then he was also part of the band Take Six. If you guys don't remember the group Take Six, they were like a acapella jazz
Gospel
gospel kind
group.
of group and stuff like that. Yeah. They performed a couple times out of Arsenio and shit like that too. But what pretty much ended up happening and stuff like that, they didn't really go anywhere and stuff like that. So Ryan McKnight actually ended up, getting a solo deal, and he had signed to Mercury Records and stuff like that. But it was like the sub label, the Wing Records, and he had dropped his debut album, the self-titled debut, in 1992. Just to let y'all know, I haven't heard the previous Mercury albums and stuff like that too. So I'm just gonna go off the rim and stuff too. So we had heard that, and he actually dropped the "I Remember You" album in '95. But see, with the "I Remember You" album, in between um, self-titled and "I Remember You," he was kind of like getting a bit more popularity and shit like that because, and honestly, what really made me want to do this review, I was watching the Martin reunion special, and what had happened was Brian McKnight was a guest and shit like that too, and he had said that the episode where he performed at Martin, the single he had came out with, it pretty much skyrocketed and stuff too, and so the sales only got better when he dropped the "I Remember You" album. And I pretty much want to say he really got noticed when he appeared on Ill Scratch's song "I'll Take Her," hip hop classic from the "Creep with Me" album. Very dope album. Definitely need to get my hands on that. I had the album, but it got fucked up. Well, my first car got fucked up and shit like that too. So I was mad as fuck. But hey, fuck it. So yeah, man. That album had. I remember you came out in '95. And so he was finishing up his deal with Mercury. So that's when he had dropped the Anytime album. Now, with what makes this album a bit more different is the fact that he pretty much he pretty much had more creative control, and he wanted to work more. He wanted to have like a more wider audience and stuff like that too. Which means like he experimented more with hip hop, and this was also the same year Mariah Carey had dropped the Butterfly album, where she was experimenting with hip hop as well too, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So both albums definitely, I definitely have a lot of similarities with both albums, and the main similarity was that you had like track masters, you had the Hitman and shit like that too, which by '97 there was like the go-to if you want like a commercial hit and shit like that too, especially Puffy and the Hitman as well too. You know what I'm saying? Um, the album cover, I hate the album cover.
You don't, you don't like the album cover?
Wait, why
This
not?
album cover, I hate R&B singers running for no fucking reason. I don't know
He
what
ain't
it is
even
and shit like
running.
that, but
He ain't running. This nigga's not
it
running.
looks like it looks like
This
he's
nigga is not
running
running.
to me.
It may
Listen.
look like he's
He
running, but
he ain't running.
yeah, it's like yeah.
He ain't no Carl Lewis now, Rex. He is not running. He's just in the street, and it looked like he's like taking a picture with his hand in his pocket. He ain't running.
Let me
I
see.
don't understand the
It
album
looks
cover
like
either
he's
because
running.
it's called Anytime. You would think it would be like a different cover.
Right, but
my first
it may give
interpretation
you
was
the
like,
illusion that he's running. I don't
Right.
know.
my interpretation was like he's like a Captain Save-A-Ho or whatever and shit like
God.
You got all
that.
that
And
from
he's
this
running to the
album
female
cover.
and
You got
shit
all
like
that. You got all of that from the album cover.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So when you look at
Mind you,
when
the
you look at
song is called Anytime.
when you look at an album cover like Kanye's My Dark Twisted Fantasy, what do you get from that?
I-
Hmm? I ain't hear you. What do you get from that album cover? You look at Kanye's album cover.
on his jeans.
I ain't hear what he said. He said something. We getting like some Wi-Fi issues with Reg right
What?
now.
I was about to say my
You freezing up on us, Reg. Yeah. Can you hear us? No, I don't think he hears us. He'll be back. Yeah, we have some issues with Reg Wi-Fi right now.
Yeah.
I think the album cover is fire. I don't know. Maybe it's the way that they designed it, and they got like some racing fucking I don't know what you call it, this racing thing here, like the arrows or whatever.
Yeah. I
I
don't
think
know.
maybe that's what it was. Like it looked like he's racing, but he's like sitting down in front of a car on the back cover.
Yeah. He's sitting out in front of a car.
Right. And we don't see
So,
the car on the front
when
cover. So I don't
when you
know.
look at the front, it's like you don't
Right.
see nothing but him.
Right. Fact. So I don't know. I don't know why they designed it like that. That's just how he wanted it, I guess.
Who knows?
No, I don't get it. Even the CD art don't even make sense. What's the CD art about? I don't understand that.
I don't know.
I'm trying to make out like what this is on here. I don't know.
Yeah, but all I saw was number orange.
Yeah, it matches with the orange on the front. It's like in
Yeah.
blue, like he took like the pictures like in blue, a blue tint.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
that
but when you
was
look at it,
mhm,
you see him.
right.
You see him smiling on the inside.
Right, you smile on the inside.
Yeah.
right. Can
So
y'all hear
raise
me?
your back. Yes.
Yeah.
Stupid
So
I
ass.
what
would.
you be better off if he would have had this on the cover instead.
Yes. And then it could just put any time in the middle.
I mean, it would fit the album more and shit like that. I really don't like that cover either. Really, I'm very particular about certain album covers.
What would you want the album cover to
What
be then?
exactly about this you just?
Well, for some, if it's like when I hear the album, it gives me
Mm-hmm.
crooning and stuff like that. So maybe just like in the Anytime video when he's just laying on the fucking couch or whatever and shit. Like I would have accepted a lean or something. She said that's a great album cover. I don't know what Reg talking about. Oh, shut the fuck up, nigga. God damn, y'all come to my channel for my fucking opinion and shit.
Exactly, right? And they want to bitch and complain.
Right.
The nerve of you niggas. Who if Red Thompson, I always tell them, I'm like, if you decide to not do this no more, where y'all gonna go? Y'all gonna go to Needle Drop? He ain't doing the shit that we do. Where y'all going? Like have some fucking gratitude, yo.
Exactly.
Shit. Like let me show you an R&B cover right quick. Give me a second.
All right.
This is an R&B cover right here.
I thought you didn't like that album.
I never said I didn't like the album. I just said it.
I just said you didn't like that album.
I just said it's a bit overhyped. It was the Mariah Carey
saying
esque. I always loved the album. It's just certain songs I just
felt got overplayed.
Yeah.
Unbreak My Heart.
Not over. Well, Unbreak My Heart, yeah, definitely got overplayed, but that was the era when a lot of R&B acts. Jesus, I hate that video so fucking much, man.
What?
I got so tired of Unbreak My Heart. It just I love
I
Tony,
mean,
but give
yeah,
me
I
Spanish
understand.
guitar
I
any
kind of
day.
got sick of the song too because I felt like they kept playing it too much.
And then they had a Spanish version of that
Oh
song.
yeah, I remember that
So I'm just
too.
like,
Yep.
and again, that was when a lot of R&B cats they thought that doing a Spanish version would get them international flavor. If I'm not mistaken, Brian
Yeah,
McKnight had
yeah,
a few
yeah,
Spanish
yeah. I
songs.
almost forgot. Boys to Men did a
Mm,
Spanish version of End of the Road, and then they had a Spanish
Jesus
version of
Christ,
Evolution. And
right.
shit. These niggas know how to say uno dos tres and things like that. They think they fucking Speedy Gonzalez and shit.
I'm pretty sure they had an interpreter having to teach
Oh
them how to
shit.
sing their songs in Spanish.
Right.
Yo.
I
But
bet
anyway,
that was a struggle in itself.
right. Y'all motherfuckers know y'all ain't bilingual like that and shit. Mm. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, so this album, I think this album has 13 tracks. Yeah, 13 tracks. Yeah. All right, so let's start off with the title track, Anytime. I mean, just hearing that piano in the beginning, that
Yep.
ding ding ding, ding
Yep.
ding ding, like that was that signature 90s piano and
Hmm.
stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially
Yep.
like that late 90s, like 96, 97 and shit too. Oh shit, y'all don't got BJ hype and shit. Anyway,
Where he
shit,
at?
but
Bring
yeah,
your ass on here, BJ.
he on the group me and shit. He on the group. All right, but anytime this is definitely. I'm not even gonna hold you. This might be my one of my favorite Brian McKnight songs. I don't know if I'll say it's my favorite yet, though. I don't know if I'll say it's my favorite, but because it's kind of tied. It's kind of tied with the song he did with Medea's Family Reunion. Gotta get
Oh, I
myself
love that
together.
song.
Yes, yes. But yeah, this one, I'm just gonna be real with you. This he was playing the Captain Save a Hole with this track right here. I'm just gonna be real.
What?
Like this was the beginning of. I want to say I'll take her. That was the beginning of the Brian McKnight. I'm gonna steal your girl
You,
era
this is
and
a
shit like
Captain
that.
Save a whole track to you? This?
No, 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 no. Let me explain. Let me explain and shit like that. You know, when I mean Captain Save a Hoe in this context and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean personally, when when you listen to this track, like the first line, I can't remember why we fell apart from something that was meant to be. He knows damn well he fucking fell apart and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And so he's trying to dive into the female's insecurity and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So what? And this the slick line. This is the slick line that he said and shit like that. You know this is how he gets the female's attention. I swear I hear your voice driving me insane. How I wish that you were called to say, do I ever cross your mind anytime? Like he knows damn well, first of all, he know damn well he ain't thinking about the girl and shit like that. I might be
What?
reading too much about this song, but
Oh my
this
god.
song just really this song is just really one of those songs I've always analyzed the song and shit like that. I love the song, but this was like he knew he knew what the fuck he was doing with this song. That's all I gotta say. And honestly, this might be next to back to one of his signature track.
I don't know how you got all that off of this one, bro. Oh my god. I think you're reading too much into that. I don't know how you got all that from
Yeah.
one song, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I am and shit, but
So you're saying like this is like a sequel to I'll Take Her?
I'm not
That's
saying
what
it's
you're
a
saying?
sequel to I'll Take Her and stuff. I'm saying this was the new and improved Brian compared to his first two. Even though I haven't heard the first two in full, he was
Mm,
still on that kind of crooning kind of type and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This one he's getting a little more into his music, a little more spark and shit. You know what I'm saying?
right. I thought this was a great ballad. Like that piano loop is memorable and the way that he sang it and everything. And Who? I mean, who's to say that it was his fault in the relationship? What if it was the female's fault, or what if it
Right,
was both their fault?
right.
And and they ain't talking a long time, and he's looking to make up with her, and he wants
Right.
to know, like he's asking her, like, yo, do I ever cross your mind? And I would think she would tell him, like, yes, no, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get how you see he was playing Captain Save-A-Ho for this song, but I thought it was a classic ballad.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is a classic.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. It is a classic, definitely.
Mm.
Cause I didn't listen to this song until like a year or so after I heard Back at One when I was a kid. But yeah, definitely that whole piano throughout the song is definitely the most memorable thing about it, along with the chorus and the concept of the song. And I agree with Try. I mean, who's to say that it wasn't his fault that a relationship ended? Maybe the girl he was involved with was hers, or they both had some part to play. But yeah, definitely a
True.
timeless song and one of my favorites in Brian's discography.
Definitely.
So Reg, if you playing this song, and let's say you and Aisha have a falling out, you're not gonna ask her the same thing, like, do I ever cross your mind?
Mm.
Well, for one, I might be cocky, but I know I crossed the line a couple times and shit. I'm just gonna be real with
Oh man,
you.
yo,
I mean,
I hope she's not watching.
Oh
I
my lord.
mean,
I hope she's not watching
the
this.
way, I mean, I be putting it down and shit. I don't think anybody can tell the way I be doing it, but that's all I gotta say on that.
Wow, what a
Woo,
guy.
okay. Mm. See, I can admit. No, Q, I wasn't mad at you. I'm just fucking around with you and shit. You know, I don't know about try though. I can't speak try though.
No, that was bad.
Mm.
All right. Track number two, could. Um, this one again, pretty dope one and shit like that too. Not really one of my favorites on this album, but you know what? Still a nice little ballad and stuff like that. Brian McKnight actually produced this track as well, so that's what's up.
This was dope. I like the beat and the bass line, and he got like the orchestra in the
Mhm.
background and the background vocals, and again, he's asking the woman, could you be the one for me this time? And I think that's a right a question that you would want to ask somebody, like, what we doing here? Are we playing? We playing around? We playing games, or you gonna settle down with me? And I thought it was a great song.
Hmm.
Even though "Could" is not a favorite of mine, I get the concept of the song. It's definitely, I think a lot of Brian's songs around this time during the '90s was kind of comes off as cinematic in a sort of way. Maybe it's just the orchestration that
Yes.
was used in the song. Yeah, yeah. Because there were a couple of songs that were like that, have that like cinematic sound, like with a whole string quartet and the whole orchestra, what have you. But definitely, definitely a very beautiful song. Just pretty much asking the question like, could you be the one that I can see spending the rest of my life with? Pretty much, that's what I got out of it.
And it's funny how you mentioned like the orchestra actually, because I definitely felt like again with the late '90s, like they were
Hmm.
definitely utilizing like I think with beginning with R. Kelly's "I Believe I Can Fly." That's
Yeah.
when
Yep.
everybody wanted to have an orchestra. Well, R. Kelly reference and shit. Woo! Everybody wanted to have like an orchestra and some strings and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Try to make it. I'm kind of grateful that Boyz II Men really did go down that shit like that because I cannot really hear Wanye doing all that shit.
What, the
I thought
begging
End of the
and
Road was bad.
Wow.
Like the
um,
pleadingness and everything.
did, wait, didn't you feel that way
Shit,
when
it's
when
like
they did
nigga,
"I'll
calm
Make
down.
Love to You"?
Yes, Oh, make love. Like when I listen to that, especially for that song, it does not give me making love. It gives me
No.
Disney World on top of a castle with Cinderella and
Oh,
Mickey Mouse
yeah,
and shit
yeah.
like
I
that.
was about to say that's what I got out of it too. It's like
From
theatrics and
Yeah,
extra stuff that I
like that.
felt wasn't needed.
Exactly. Like give me dun 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 dun. I can fuck to that.
mm.
Hell, I can maybe fuck to End of the Road if I wanted to. I could probably
Well, it's
what
good to know
you
you
guys.
can.
I be fucking to a lot of shit, man. Like
It's good to know that you can fuck to something. You
yeah.
know, a Boyz II Men record
like
at that.
Right.
like trust me. You just gotta fight. You just gotta when you like sticking it in there. You just gotta move with the baseline. That's the trick. Gotta move with the baseline.
I would hope so, Reg. Oh
You gotta
man,
move with the baseline. See,
wow.
motherfuckers, they focus on the melody when they fuck it. You gotta focus on the bass line. Like
Mm.
why Ike Turner said, "What's love got to do with it?" You gotta put a little stunk in it.
You're quoting the great Ike Turner. Okay,
yeah,
the
yeah.
the
So
the
what?
great
Well, actually,
wife
I'm
beater,
quoting Lawrence Fishburne.
the wife beater of one of
I'm
the
actually quoting Lawrence Fishburne
oh Lawrence.
because who knows if I don't even know if Ike said some shit like that.
Oh man,
Because honestly, clearly they did fabricate a lot of shit in that fucking movie.
right.
Shit. Anyway. Mm. Oh God, let's get this next song over with. You Should Be Mine. Don't Waste Your Time, featuring Mace.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the obligatory bad boy song of the
Yeah.
any niggas R&B albums and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It says it's produced by Puffy, but we all know he didn't produce that
Yeah,
shit.
he ain't produce that shit.
we all know that shit.
Come on now.
I remember I actually heard this song, believe it or not, on 106 Park. First of all, this was back when they used to do the
Oh well.
flashback videos and shit like that.
Mhm.
Um, Pretty much, at that time, the best part of the whole fucking show because I could not stand Terrence and Roxy and shit. Mace's verse. I mean, he definitely set it off and shit like that. I'm not gonna hold you and stuff like that too. Um, the line where he says "first rap cat with the R&B budget."
Mm.
I'm like, I don't know about all that though, but okay. But yeah, man, Brian McKnight, pretty much did his thing on this track right here. Like, this is a nice little block party kind of song. You know what I'm saying? Not really one of my favorite Mace collaborations and shit like that. I kind of prefer the joint he did with Brandy and stuff like that too.
Yeah, sitting on
You know
top of
what
the
I'm
world.
saying?
Sitting
So,
on top of the world.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was my fucking joint and shit like that. But other than that, this was a pretty solid track.
I love it, and I love it because Mace was dope back then when he actually came out with one great album, and I thought he killed it with the rhyme and the beat was dope and the bass line. This was dope. You know what I'm saying? This was dope. Yes, Ron Amen, Lawrence, and Stevie J produced it. Not Puffy, but he took the credit for shit that he never did. But yeah, this is dope. I definitely enjoyed the song.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed "You Should Be Mine" as well. Of course, it's the typical bad boy sounding track. You can't just forget because it was made by Bad Boy Records just because it has that signature sound or that
Hmm.
signature hook or whatever it is that makes the song stand out. And yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
And of course, Mace was popular at the time,
Hmm.
back in the late '90s. Of course,
Right.
even though I haven't
I love
listened,
his
the only
rhyme,
time
man.
I listened to his first album was when we reviewed it.
Hmm.
Other than that, I haven't listened to his other one that he did
Yeah.
have.
It's
So
bad. It's bad.
yeah, I remember when you mentioned that.
Oh
So I'm not gonna
God.
keep that. I'm not gonna keep
It's,
that. So
do not waste your money getting double up or the one after that. It's bad.
okay,
Harlem
Or
World
the
is his
Harlem
only
World,
classic. Huh?
or the
okay.
group Harlem World album too.
No, that one either. Yeah. The Harlem World is his only classic. His only one. You see the pattern here? Same with
Mm-hmm.
Puff, his only classic. Yeah.
Mm.
There's a pattern with this label. What? I love his rhyme when he said like, "While you're forever rowdy, I'll be outy somewhere in Maui till I go back to Cali." I love that. His flow is just dope, man. I love Mace. Shout out to Mace, man. Get your publishing back.
Mm.
Shit. Anyway, after that Bad Boy track, I got "Show Me the Way Back to Your Heart." I swear to God, some of these titles, man. I swear. This was actually a cover. This was actually a cover of the Gloria Estefan song with her sexy ass and shit. But
Mm.
anyway,
We need to discuss our music too at some point.
I did not know that.
you said what?
I said we need to discuss some music at some point.
Okay, we
I
can
mean,
do something for the
if you into
Latino.
our music, yeah, yeah.
I
I
Yeah,
mean,
didn't
if you
know
into our
she
this
music,
has some. She
was
has
a cover of her song.
yeah. I'd rather listen to her music more than Selena, honestly. But that's another
yeah,
story
same,
for a different day. I know I'm gonna
same.
piss off the whole
You mean Selena
Tahio.
who had Dreaming of You?
You said what?
You mean Selena who had that song Dreaming of You?
You said I can hear you.
You said Selena who had that song Dreaming of You?
Yeah,
Oh,
mind you, that's like the only the English when she started speaking English. That's when I started liking. I didn't care too much for that earlier. It's like when it comes to that kind of music, I can have to be in the right mood. Like Gloria Estefan, I can vibe to and shit like that.
Hmm.
Santana,
mm,
I fuck
Yeah,
with Santana and shit.
I
You know
like
what I'm
Santana.
saying?
Hmm.
Yeah. J Lo, that's another
Oh
story.
God,
But anyway,
no, no.
yeah, this track right here, this track right here was pretty good. I've not heard the original version of this track, but this one was a pretty dope track right here and stuff like that. So definitely a very solid joint.
Yeah, I like the Spanish guitars on here. Definitely had like that Latin flavor to it. Nice slow beat. I didn't know he so he this is a rendition of the Gloria Stefan track.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, it was cool. I like Gloria's version better. I mean, because she was great in Miami Sound Machine and a great solo artist. But this was okay.
mm. I
hmm
had no idea this was a cover of her song. To be honest, I had no clue. But for some reason, "Show Me the Way Back to Your Heart" it kind of had some similar vibe to like Tony Braxton's "Unbreak My Heart." I don't know if it's the instrumentation with the guitars being used,
I agree.
and yeah, that's what kind of got my attention with that. Not a bad song, not a bad rendition. I've not heard the original
Yeah,
either.
yeah. That Spanish guitars was very popular with late '90s R&B. I don't know.
Mhm.
This whole album definitely the beginning of some of them trends late '90s R&B kind of happened and stuff like that too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like Tony Braxton's Secrets kind of started that whole
Oh boy, here we go.
orchestral.
Bashing Tony Braxton album
What?
again.
What? Guys, I do not dislike Secret. I don't know where all of this is coming from.
He never said he
I like
disliked
it.
Secrets.
Oh,
I heard him say
I'm just
this.
critical.
I,
I'm just very
you were
critical.
critical to the point where you said, "Oh, she's biting off of Mariah or something like that."
I never said. I said it was L.A. Reid that was Mariah carrying her. I never said she was biting off Mariah.
Mm.
Never
Oh,
said that.
so
Yeah, it was
you don't
L.A.
feel like
Reid.
you don't feel like she could do the same ballads like Mariah?
She can, but at the same time, it's like with Tony, her ballads. I love her ballads and stuff like that. But if you listen to Mariah's ballads, like around the Music Box, Daydream era, and stuff like that, a lot of those R&B cats were trying to do what she did on those albums during their like late '90s albums.
Hmm.
Escapes, last album, the Traces of My Lipstick album, is a perfect
Yeah,
example because their first two
yeah,
albums was like just kicking it, all that kind
Mm,
of
yeah.
shit, like it's that kind of all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But then once you had that album, you had Softest Place, That joint right there. It's like the more polished, groomed up kind of escape and shit too. Hell, there was another group. Brownstone with their second album
Yeah.
too. The first album
Yeah.
had more of that uptown R&B kind
Mm-hmm.
of ordeal, but then the second album, they kind of polished their look more and stuff. Started covering more rock songs on that one and shit too. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I just personally feel like they definitely wanted those cinematic ballads and shit like that too.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Hell,
Mhm.
to an extent, R. Kelly's are another R. Kelly reference today. I wonder why. The R album.
Mhm.
If I can turn back the hands of time,
Yep.
I believe I can fly. Even though that was on Space Jam soundtrack, it was still was included on
Yep.
this song. Half on a Baby.
I love that.
Nah, 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 nah. It
Classic
definitely had
record.
a classic record, yes.
A
But
classic record.
compare that to I Can't Sleep, Baby.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You to Be Happy.
Mhm.
That the second album had more of a bounce, like that bounce to it. We're not mentioning Eric Benet here. We're not mentioning Eric Benet here. No,
Yeah,
no, no,
we
no.
mentioning R. Kelly here. We didn't mention Eric Benet.
Oh, by the way, I didn't even
Mhm.
read the disclaimer for this show for this episode yet. And I
What
did a holy
disclaimer?
funny disclaimer
You have a
and
disclaimer?
shit. But
Oh,
yeah, I said this
yeah.
segment is for anybody that thinks that their previous verses was R&B. We heard them
Right.
singing, so we had to do this review for y'all. Thank you.
Mm.
Mm. Bad.
Shit. I was watching that shit today. That was comedy, man. I don't give a
Mm.
fuck. That was fucking comedy. Because I never knew R&B stands for Ray J and Brandy. I never knew that. But hey,
Oh man.
Oh man.
hey, I listened to R&B all these years. I thought it stood for rhythm and blues. I'm the slow one.
Right?
Shit. But moving on and shit. Mm. So I told about the R&B stands for Ray J and Brandy and shit. Shit. My only one wish would be hopefully Ray J would sing as good as his next album and shit.
Dang.
Oh, man.
Anyway, track number 5. Every time we say goodbye. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite tracks off this album and stuff like that too. I love that fucking beat to this song. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope beat. I love the way he was singing on this record as well too. You know what I'm saying? I want to say this could have been a fucking single, in my opinion, but
Mm.
he was like letting motherfuckers know anytime he's on their mind and shit. You know what I'm saying? He definitely talks about being alone a lot on this album and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, definitely talk about being alone. The breakup of relationship and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? You could pretty much call this an anytime pseudo sequel in a weird way. I don't know. No, but this was a pretty dope record. I fuck with this.
I think it's like a dope. It has like a hip hop soul
Yeah.
sound to it. I love the beat and
Yeah.
the bass line. Now this is a song that I could hear Mary J. Blige. She would have killed this track. She
Oh
definitely would
yeah.
have killed it if she was featured on here with him. But I definitely like this joint. I love the beat and the bass line for it, and yeah, this is dope.
Yeah. Every time we say goodbye, definitely an underrated song. I love the beat to it and how Brian sung it. Definitely. I definitely could have possibly seen this song as a potential sequel. I mean, potential single as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this was definitely like the second half was definitely when the hip hop soul really started taking in and shit like that too. Especially
Right.
with the title called "You Got the Bomb."
Right.
Shit, nigga, you got the bomb and shit. Okay.
Mm.
Hmm. Excuse me. Yeah, pretty much. With this track right here, it's just love at. It's like one of those love at first sight kind of songs and shit like
Right.
that too. You know what I'm saying? I like the line when he said, "The first time I kissed your lips, think I'm gonna shout about it and shit like that." Damn, she must have them DSLs and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this one was a pretty straight record and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just like one of those love at first sight. It definitely had that R&B feel, that signature R&B sound in the '90s and stuff too. That period. So I fuck with it.
Yes, definitely. I love it, man. It's definitely a dope track. Love the beat for this. The bass line was hitting, and yeah, like you just kept saying, like, you got the bomb. You just keep blowing me up, and it reminded me of like the Gap Band joint. You drop the bomb on me,
Yeah, yeah.
and you hear like the
Mhm.
actual like bomb sounds or whatever dropping, and yeah, that was dope. I definitely like the that track.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing where you got the bomb. I definitely see how that could be like a reference to the Gap Band song. But yeah, this is definitely a dope song.
Yeah, very dope song indeed. Track number 7, "Hold Me," featuring Willie Max. Um, it uses the Zapp and Roger "Be Alright." No, no, not "Be Alright." What's it sample? Yeah, computer. It uses "Computer Love" sample and stuff like that, which he kind of paid homage to Tupac's "I Get Around" with his record
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
Just the way how he was harmonizing and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. This one, his album. This song, he's definitely finding his love and stuff like that. He questioned if it's like lust or love. You know what I'm saying? Because we all have that time. Like we might think we're in love and shit like that, but
But it's not.
sometimes you might be addicted to the big booty and the smile and shit. You know what I'm saying? No Belle Biv DeVoe. So yeah, this track. I didn't even know Kobe Bryant was featured on the remix, Ronnie. So, and I didn't even know Mary J. Blige co-wrote this track. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe he's involved in it somehow.
Oh wow.
Right. Kobe Bryant. I kind of don't want to. I kind of don't want to hear that shit because Kobe Bryant rhyming and shit. I I know I love Kobe, but I'm not gonna say in lie. I'm not gonna say and pretend that his rapping was good and shit. So that's one thing I'm
Right,
not gonna do. 'Cause I know
because we know the
that
best rapper was Shaq.
yes, Shaq was the best athlete rapper, and it's crazy too because it's like ever since Kobe died, motherfuckers been like, "Oh my god, the album was fire." I'm like,
No,
y'all
yeah,
really
man.
reaching right now. This
No,
generation is just like rich as fuck.
yeah,
Y'all not gonna sit and tell me that the album was good, but you know what? I want to keep my
that's a
mouth shut on that.
that's a classic, Reg. What you talk about?
That's the Illmatic of athlete hip hop. That's
Yeah.
the Illmatic and shit.
Oh my God.
But yeah, this song was pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Homie was dope. I like the I get around sample. Beat was knocking. This was dope. I think it would have been even dope if Pac was alive and he was on like featured on it.
Yeah, yeah.
That would have been crazy. Yes, I said Pac. Q. Definitely.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, Hold Me is definitely a favorite of mine off this album, and I definitely wish like Pac would have been alive and maybe do a collab with Brian McKnight, especially on here, since of course he made the sample "Before I Get Around" just so big back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cedric Sabalos, I don't think he could rap either. He was barely a good player.
Like I said, I don't like any athlete rapping
Allen
unless
Iverson,
it's
like,
Shaq.
I love Allen Iverson as a player, but he couldn't rap either.
Hell,
Who
Shaq
wasn't
wasn't
trying
the best
to rap?
rhymer, but at least he had flavor and shit.
Yeah, it was money well spent.
Uh, Track number 9, "Till I Get Over You." Um,
Oh
this one was pretty dope and
wait,
shit.
wait. The
Like,
only one for me. You
oh
skipped
yeah, I
over.
skipped one. Yeah, I skipped one. Yeah. Oh shit. That's the joint I fucking love and shit. The only one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This one right here was very dope. I love this track right here. It actually got him nominated for best male R&B vocal performance, but he didn't get
Mm,
the award and shit like that. So you know
mm.
how I do. I like to find out who actually got that award, but I'll let y'all know after y'all say y'all thoughts on this record and shit.
I liked it. I like again. It sounded a little bit like Anytime with the piano chords, but it had a dope beat too. And this was dope. I'm curious to know who won this. It's probably gonna be somebody I don't like. Who won that award?
Mm. The only one for me is definitely a favorite of mine off this album as well. I remember watching an episode of Sister Sister when Brian McKnight guest starred first
Yes.
on an episode, and he was dancing with Tia at that lounge or whatever, singing this song, and that's my first memory of this. And ever since then, I couldn't stop listening to this song. The chorus is catchy. The melody of it was beautifully done. Just a classic. And I still can't
Very
get over the fact that this man got nominated like 23 times and still ain't won a Grammy yet. Like, come on,
Crazy
what y'all waiting for?
for real.
well. Speaking of the Grammys, he actually lost that to Stevie Wonder's version of St. Louis Blues.
Oh wow.
Okay, well Stevie's a legend.
Yeah, yeah.
Thought you were gonna say somebody like Cisco or something.
Oh God,
Oh,
no,
oh God, oh God,
no,
Cisco,
no,
Jesus. And mind you, he got
no.
nominated for Thong Song like 2 years later and shit.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Cause
Yep.
that song was everywhere.
Right, and he lost to
They,
D'Angelo.
then they then they put him in the rap category that year for Thong Song.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think he was in the rap category. I'm like, why is he? He's not a rapper.
Right.
Just because a nigga was a do-rag don't make him pop.
Right.
Track number 9, Till I Get Over You. Um, this joint right here was alright. Well, not really getting on one of my favorites and stuff like that, you know. Um, yeah, it's just pretty much, you know, what you would get from most of this album and shit.
This was good. I like the beat. Nice bass line to it. Solid cut.
Even though it's Till I Get Over You is not a favorite of mine, I'll admit it was alright.
Right. Track number 10, I Belong to You. Love this record right here. I mostly love it for that acoustic guitar in the background and shit too. You know what I'm saying? Just him pouring out his intimate feelings with this one. I feel like it was just the perfect soundscape for that record as well too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Very, very, very dope record.
Yeah, this was good. I like it. I like the acoustic um sound of it, and it reminded me of like when you hear like a Jodeci, Good Loving, and I like had like the acoustic guitar while he's singing, and this was great. This was a great song.
Yeah, I Belong to You. This was the very first Brian McKnight song I heard, and it was on this mixtape my mom had back in the day. Yeah, because I
Oh
remember I
wow.
used to play it. Oh, yeah, 'cause I
Yeah.
remember I used to play the mixtape on my cassette player at the time, like when I got home from school. And yeah, I
So
like the guitars, the chorus, and definitely an underrated song.
yeah, do your mom still have the mixtapes?
Mm, I don't know. I know that she keeps like a container with all the cassettes that she's had.
Uh,
Like she had them like longer than I've been alive. But
wow,
I don't know if she has that particular cassette mixtape or not.
that's dope.
But if she still has it, I would not be surprised.
Wow.
Oh Lord. Okay. All right. Track number 11, Jam Knock. Nice usage of the I Can't Wait sample from the what's it called? The
New
new
shoes.
shoots, yeah,
Yeah.
shoes.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very popular song that's been sampled a lot and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this was a very hot joint right here, you know what I'm saying? Definitely still continue on that hip hop soul and stuff like that too. So I vibe with this one.
I love that sample. And that was a huge hit in the 80s, yo. Like when that
Yeah.
came out, and love that song. And yeah, I like the sample for this nice beat.
Yeah, I was familiar with the song I Can't Wait because I think I played it a few times a few months ago, and I feel like Jam Knock is another underrated song, definitely combined with the hip hop and the soul concepts. Definitely dope.
Definitely. And the next song we got is When the Chariot Comes. You know what I'm saying? Very good song right here. This one was definitely like the more spiritual religious song of the whole album and stuff like that. And this song right here, it kind of got us ready for like the Christmas album, the Bethlehem album that he came out with the next year and shit like that from Motown and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this one was a pretty dope record.
Yeah, this was good. This had like a different sound to it, like for the last track, and the way that he closed out with this song on the album. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I feel When the Chariot Comes was definitely a good way to close out the album. And I noticed he did that again when he did the Back at One album
Right.
as well. So I guess somewhere either towards the middle of the album or somewhere towards the end, he definitely wants to put out a spiritual song. I guess when it comes to his, I guess either religious upbringing or I guess religious anything religious. I guess him being influenced by church growing up. I think
Right.
definitely a good way to
Right,
close out the album.
definitely. And y'all didn't hear the 13 track Home, right?
No,
No,
it's not on my version of the album though.
Okay,
no.
just
I
making
think
sure.
no, because you said the track was called Home.
Yeah,
I think that's on the Back at One album.
really, because it says anytime. 'Cause I don't have that version. I was just making sure and
Mm,
stuff. So
I don't. Is there another version for this album? I don't think there is.
some
I
Is there
motherfucker
like
probably
bonus
I'm
tracks?
not sure because if there is another version of this album, then that's news to me.
shit. Anyway, fuck it. All in all, this is a very dope album. This is what R&B sounds like and stuff like that. This is what
And what should sound
singing,
like now?
right? Singing, no auto tune, none of that
No, yeah,
bullshit,
none of all that. Yeah,
none of that. Till my baby's born, till my baby's born, none of that bullshit right there and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? This is
Who's
what
that?
R&B singing is. You said
mm-hmm.
what?
Who's saying that?
That was Ray J had that verses and
Oh,
shit where he
really?
yelled,
Mm.
"To my baby
Wow.
born, to my baby born."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So yeah, this album
Mm.
to me, this really set it off for him. Like it's really breaking shit too. Like I said, this might be so far one of my favorite albums he's ever done. Period. You know what I'm saying? Cause I think I've only heard this one and Back at One. I haven't heard everything because this nigga put out like a lot of shit, and he's still putting
Mhm.
out shit to this day and stuff like that
I thought
too.
he
You
was.
know
I
what I'm
thought he
saying?
retired though. He's not retired.
He did?
Yeah, they said he said he was retiring.
Oh wow.
As far as I know,
No, maybe it was a rumor.
as far as I know, he's not retired.
Okay.
Oh, I was about to
You
say.
know these motherfuckers say they retired and they come back out when they
Yeah.
bored or some shit, when they need some money or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this goes out to this generation who thinks this motherfucker's only known for that. Let me show you how your pussy works kind of song and shit like that. So this is the real Brian making this This is Brian. This is the Brian McKnight motherfucker recruiting for and shit like that. But I'm
He
gonna
has
give
a
this
song called
album.
that. There's a song like that.
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Yes, I never heard that
You say
song.
yeah? Okay,
Yeah,
shit.
I
I'll,
never
I'll
heard it.
play it. Okay, I'll play it before
That's
I
from
end
his
this.
later albums, right? One of his later albums.
Yeah, I think he did that for like some radio station or YouTube or some shit like
Wow,
that. He called "Let me show you how pussy works" and shit. But I'll give this album a 4.5 out of 5.
wow. This is a classic album, man. This is one of his best. My favorite Brian McKnight album. The production, the singing, the songwriting. You know, everything that it takes to be a real artist. Not like Omarion and Ray J and all these other clowns. Like this is a real R&B artist here that made real R&B music, and I love it. Every song on here was banging. The ballads, the hip hop soul tracks. You had a feature with Mace on here. Mary, the queen of hip hop soul, wrote a song on here for him. Like this is official. 5 mics from me.
Yeah, this is definitely what real R&B sounds like. For those who don't know, definitely one of my favorite Brian McKnight albums. Besides this, I Remember You and Back at One. But yeah, a lot of the songs on here I remember from when my mom played this album when I was a child. Others I heard from a mixtape that she had, and definitely got classics other than the title track. You're the only one for me. I mean, you can't get any better than that. I'll give this 5 out of 5.
Yes, yes. All right. All right. So I'm gonna play this one song for Try before I head out and shit like that. Cause honestly, I've had a long day. I would stay and chat with y'all, but I need some me time today and shit. But yeah. Let me play this pussy song for Try and shit. Every time you didn't get done, you wish someone satisfied. Or you feel feelings and maybe asking questions why. They talk through your game. They know what the tongue is wrong. Then why you lying? You live inside you. Lead you want to think more. I did my full spread of sociology. So what I tell you might seem strange. Things you don't know about your physiology. You don't have to be ashamed. I need you, but you see why. Since you didn't bring me to me, I have lots of things to show you. If you're ready to learn, let me show you how you can see why. Just didn't know that it was worth. I have lots of things to show you. If you're ready to learn, you gotta let it know. There's much going on. If he's not all about you, it's all about you. You don't need his ass around. Wanna be your new best friend. Those times when you're by yourself, I'm great in the shower. I'm better than how you can do by yourself. I got my full stand of sociology. So what I do, you might seem strange. And you don't know about your physiology. You don't have to be ashamed. And be sure that you can see what I didn't want to be first. Yeah, lots of things to show you. You ready to learn? Let me show you how to see what didn't know that it could work. I have lots of things to show you. But yeah, that's pretty much most of that
Wow.
song, and I don't want to play for copy reasons alone and shit.
It sound good though. I like it.
Oh yeah, it's just like a lot of people didn't like it at that time because they were
Really?
used to Brian McKnight being the back at one, the sweet, loving, romantic type and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And
oh, he
they
said
didn't
pussy,
expect him to have a song like that.
I thought
right?
it was gonna
Oh,
be
he
some
said
ratchet
pussy. Oh
song.
my,
Right. I thought it was gonna be like some ratchet song, but it
I
sound
thought
actually
so
good.
too, but it
Man,
wasn't.
they talking about, man. This man's a legend.
Yeah.
for real.
You know.
Like, give this man his flowers and give him a
Right.
Grammy already.
Exactly. Exactly.
And don't do him like y'all did Gerald Levert.
Oh God. Another legend.
Yeah. More than
Exactly.
anything, that man wanted a Grammy when he was alive. They ended up giving
Hmm.
him when he died. Like, man.
Right.
Other than that, I'm gonna end this video off right here. 'Cause I'm about to eat me a little something before I just lay down for the night. But got a few announcements I gotta make. Got a few announcements. So next week a certain Brooklyn duo is gonna finally get us just D on this channel. I want to say we're gonna do that maybe next Tuesday. I think is MOP. Let's finally start talking about MOP with their first album. I don't have the first album, but I got the How About Some Hardcore single and stuff like that too. I'm also gonna do a double review with that and Teflon's My Will album and stuff like that. Just starting off the whole MLP treatment right and stuff like that too. Also, tomorrow is gonna be the last day of the whole P Funk month and stuff like that. So we're gonna talk about George Clinton's solo debut, the Computer Games album, and stuff like that too. Um, yeah, this album cover always trips me out and shit. I might do that a little earlier than 11 o'clock
Okay.
because I may or may not see Aisha tomorrow night. I don't know about that yet. Plus, after the week I've had so far, I might just need to just say I might have to do this a little earlier so I can get me some sleep or some shit. Cause barely getting some sleep like that. Cause motherfuckers want to wake me up, but I'm gonna leave that right there. Um, Saturday we're gonna talk about Logic's new album, and stuff like that. That was originally supposed to have been today and stuff like that too, but I pushed that back because since the album has 30 tracks and my schedule was very tight this week, I felt like I have an ample time on Saturday just to talk about that record and shit like that before I do what I have to do. And of course, Sunday is the big day, the collection video and the surprise review that we're gonna do and shit like that. I may or may not do one more CD shopping and some shit like that just for old time's sake. That's just depending on how my money is by Friday and shit because real life kind of took a hit and shit like that too. So yeah, man. Also be on the lookout for the 1992 R&B list dropping sometime tonight or tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. And yeah, man, that's pretty much everything I have to say and shit like that too. Thank y'all so much for coming as usual and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Talking about some R&B, some real R&B and shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Try. I was gonna do a video about some R. Kelly shit, but I'm too tired right now. I might just save that for tomorrow and some shit. Cause I feel like everybody else is doing their videos on that shit. So what's the 30th what's me being the 30th person gonna help anybody? But anyway, um, yeah, man. So hope everyone has a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Peace.
Peace, Ash.
Peace.
Peace.